Well then, whoo! Did not expect that. The Nets, man. The Nets cooked the Sixers tonight. They completely dominated the Sixers from start to end in this game. They went to Philly and they took down the Sixers in dominating fashion. This was Ben Simmons' first time back in Philadelphia. He did not play tonight. He was on the bench. I'm not exactly sure why Steve Nash decided to have Ben Simmons travel alongside the team to Philadelphia just to have him sit on the bench so he can get used to the environment of getting booed in case they meet Philly in the playoffs. I mean, I guess, but he's on the bench. That's a completely different atmosphere from when he's in the game and he's actually touching the basketball and they are literally booing him every time he tries to make a play. Those are two different things. But hey, Nash brought him. He was on the bench and they booed him. They booed him when he came out. They were booing him while he was on the bench. They were pretty much booing him for a couple times throughout the first half. But once it really, it got to the point where the Nets took over in that third quarter and just completely put the game away because they were dominating the first half. And then they just continued to extend their lead coming out of the half and took over the third quarter. Once it got to a point where it's like, yeah, Sixers ain't got a chance, Philly got real quiet. And even KD pointed that out in his interview after the game. So, Nets went in there and sent a clear message tonight. The Nets are still a threat. They've always been a threat. When you have KD and Kyrie playing together, you know they're a threat. As long as they are both healthy and they're on the court together, you know they're going to be a threat. So I'm not surprised by how both played today. KD had 25 points, Kyrie had 22. Didn't really need to do much in this game because the first half they were dominating. Both of them were just balling out. Third quarter, they continued to ball out. In the fourth quarter, nothing really needed to be done there. The game was already out of hand for Philadelphia. So, Nets pretty much already secured the win. It was just continuing to keep up that lead and don't blow it. And that's what they did. They ended up winning 129-100. So good for them. But, KD balled out. Kyrie balled out. Seth Curry, who the Sixers traded to help get James Harden, he balled out. And that was one element that was actually missing from the Sixers tonight. They could really use the three-point shooting because they were terrible tonight. And that's an aspect of the Sixers game that's not exactly their strong suit right now. They sacrificed some shooting in order to get James Harden, and they're hopeful that can help out because you're pairing up James Harden with Embiid, and it's worked out, but it seems like if you're going to match up with the Nets and you're missing some shooting, when you got guys like that, you got KD and Kyrie that can go out there and get whatever they want at any point, and you add a sharpshooter like Seth Curry, man, boy. The Nets are going to be a problem. That's what I'm trying to say. The Nets came out here tonight and sent a message to Philly. They are going to be an issue. But what I was really impressed with the Nets tonight, sure, offensively they did their thing. I'm not surprised about that. The way they played defensively tonight, they were on it defensively. I did not expect to see that level of defensive intensity from the Nets. I didn't think they could play defense like that. I know they could play defense, but not as effectively as they were against the Sixers. I mean, Embiid and Harden did not shoot well at all tonight. Like, at all. And the Nets were disrupting everything Philly was trying to do tonight. So, defensively, they did a great job tonight. All in all, the Nets continue to show that when they're healthy and if they can get this team assembled, they should be considered the biggest threat in the Eastern Conference. I still trust in my Miami Heat to be able to take them down in a 7-game series, but it will definitely go into 7 games. It won't be an easy matchup, which is exactly why I don't want to see them in the first round. If Philly gets them in the first round, good luck to them. I don't want to meet these guys in the first round. As for Philly tonight, my God. Philly tonight, the team as a whole didn't play terrible, but you got to look at your two stars. Your two superstars in Joel Embiid and James Harden. Now, Embiid today, he had 27 points. When you look at it like that, you're like, okay, but 15 of those 27 points came from the free throw line. He was 15 of 19 tonight. So that came from the line. He shot 5 of 17 tonight. He was very, very inefficient. To be fair, the defense they were throwing at him and the way they were crowding the paint, they made it difficult for Embiid to do anything there. So I ain't gonna lie, they played very well against Embiid, and I'm interested to see how they're going to match up in a 7-game series because Embiid tonight, Man, he was trying. He was trying. The way he was getting to the free throw line, the way he was trying to be aggressive early on in the game, and they just weren't giving him anything. He had to fight for it. That's gonna be something Doc's gonna have to figure out, because like that's, if the Nets are gonna play defense like that, it's gonna be a tough series for Embiid. But yeah, he had 27 points tonight, but most of it came from the free throw line. As for James Harden, bro, you gotta step up, man. You seriously gotta set up. You legit have to step up, man. I'm dead serious with this. Now, James Harden in the postseason, we know the history with him. When you look at his stats in the postseason, James Harden has played well. Not to mention, he's had plenty of playoff games where he's balled out, dominated, and done his thing. However, in the biggest moments of his career, he has had moments where he's either disappeared in clutch time or he's just failed to show up in that game. Now, this is a regular season game. We got 15 games left before playoffs. Obviously, he just got here. They're still working it, working out the kinks between him and Embiid and trying to get to where they want to be as a unit with Harden. But tonight was a night where you knew the Nets were trying to send a message. You also wanted to kind of send a message here as well. You want to send this message that Philly is the team to beat now. We got this whole squad. I left Brooklyn to come here. I asked for this trade to come here. So I wanted to send a message. You didn't do that tonight. This was a big game, and James Harden disappeared. Completely disappeared. 11 points, 3 of 17 from the field. This dude was missing wide open threes. James Harden does not miss open threes when he's on it. Tonight, he just wasn't there. I hope that's not a sign for the postseason, because Philly can't afford that. They really can't afford that. You have Harden, you have Embiid, and you have a legit shot to get to the finals. You can't afford to screw this up. So James Harden, you need to step up, man. Of course, like I said, I'm not going to take it too seriously. It's a regular season game. They're still working out the kinks. But Harden has been known to have moments, not all the time, because there are plenty of playoff games and plenty of moments where he has shown up. However, in the most crucial of crucial moments, Harden has either failed to show up at all, or he's disappeared down the stretch. It's just there. We've seen it throughout his career. Tonight, Harden did not play well. He did not show up. He did not ball out at all. He was missing open shots. He couldn't get anything to go. It was just tough for Philadelphia all night. Fourth quarter, there was no point of even having the starters in there. They just knew they were outclassed. At least tonight. And, the Sixers fans, they just got quiet for the fourth quarter. There was nothing left. So yeah, Nets come out here and make a statement. And the way they played defensively, I'm not going to forget that. The way they played defensively tonight, that's a concern. That is a concern. Because the way they played defensively tonight was actually pretty good. And that's a bit scary, because Ben Simmons hasn't played. And we know what Ben Simmons brings to the table defensively. So yeah, Brooklyn can get this whole unit together. The whole thing is you have to have Kyrie available. I have no idea how that whole situation is going to work out, but if Kyrie's available for every single game in the postseason, I don't know, man. In the 7-game series against anybody, Nets have a fantastic chance. I still believe my Miami Heat can beat this team in the 7-game series, but I think it would go to 7 games. But yeah, Nets definitely look scary when they have their whole team assembled. But we'll see. Maybe they'll have it at some point. I don't know. I don't know when Ben Simmons is going to finally play. I don't know about this whole situation with Kyrie. We'll see how that goes. As for Philly, it's a tough loss, but you just get over it. Continue to build the chemistry between Harden and Embiid. And Harden, bruh, postseason, I can't have you doing this, man. Seriously, Philly will boo the hell out of you if you have a disappearing act in the playoffs. You can't do this, man. They need you. They legit need you. But, that's it for me tonight. That's all I got to say for this. It's not, just a regular season game. Of course, the season's winding down, but, it is what it is. If these two do end up beating in the playoffs, we'll see what happens. But with that being said, that is all I've got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.